Good evening, everyone. How is everyone? Hi to anybody watching on catch up. Who have we got in tonight? Irish train guy. Good evening. David Cook, how you doing? XMG12. Good evening to you. Jerry, how's things? I hope everyone's keeping well. And I hope everyone can hear me okay. Hi, Gordon. How you doing? Hi, Leslie. So I hope everyone can hear me okay. And everybody's doing well. Hi, Connor. How's it going? Bernie, how you doing, sir? It's good to see you here. I hear you've been through the wars a little bit. Yeah, it's not been very nice over here, Leslie. Though I was going to do the live from the museum tonight, so you could see Drumbo and everything. But it's not very nice out there. It's very cold and wet. Although it'd be dry under the cover, I wouldn't be able to take you around and show you Drumbo in the rain. The rail car, this one here. That is a model of Railcar 20, which ran on the Donegal Railway and then was bought by the Isle of Man and ran on there for a few years. I go to solo layout. I'll move the camera so you can have a closer look. It belongs to the museum. I've had it out here to do some repairs on it, get it running. It'll be going back into the museum shortly now, so it'll be operating on part of our Christmas display. Who else came in? Hi, Lee. How you doing? Joshua, how you doing? Carl, good evening. So I hope everyone's doing well. Don't forget to hit the like button for me, guys. So I've got my Murphy's Model Class 121 of Irish Rail going around, and I have the A class going around as well from Irish Railway Models or Acura scale. And appear to have a bit of a dead spot. Stopping in the same place last week. How do they compare? They're both excellent models, very highly detailed, very well powered, very smooth running. Really like both of them. Obviously, there's a few more functions with the Irish Railway Model one. The A-Class has the built-in Stay Alive, built-in speakers. It's got the sound card with it as well. Hi, Flymo. How you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well. Have anyone seen that little short I put up on Tuesday while I was watching YouTube Tuesday? I started assembling the station building. I'll show you guys that in a moment, because I built it so far because I want to put some lights in it. So before I finish the assembly, I got some LED bulbs here. I might solder a few up during the stream and pop them in. Hi Dinmar, how you doing? Let me know if the stream gets a bit jerky or the picture gets bad, because during the bad weather here, it does affect my broadband. So I'm going to move the main camera onto the workbench. There you can see. Let's move that over a bit and shot a bit more. So there's the start of the station building. So I haven't glued it together yet. It's still in its three main bits. I'm not going to use the cardboard platform that came with it, because I'm making up my own platforms for it to go on. But I want to put a few lights in it. It's easier to do at this stage before you finish gluing it together, so you can sort out any light bleed or anything like that. I'm not going to put lights in all the rooms, just a few of them. Got my little box of LEDs here. So what I have is I have some LEDs, these ones here, which actually, they don't flash, but they flicker. Yeah, Jay, I do like the Metcalf kits. They do come out well. This is the mainline station booking hall. There you can see it. So I'm just going to set this one up, the power supply, so you can just see it flickering. if the camera will pick it up. It is a very faint flicker. So I'll just use some crocodile leads. I don't even know if the camera will pick this up. I don't know if you can see that sort of flicker effect. So it should give that sort of indication of an open fire. I also have here somewhere should have some flashing blue ones. Now these should properly flash, so they could be used as police beacons. So they're great, these little LEDs. You don't need any extra electronic components. They just flash. So I'll put that back before I get them mixed up. And you can see where I got them from. This one we've got there. I got these off eBay. I don't know if we can make out their eBay address on there. So that's Bright Components. They do have a website. It's www.bright-components.co.uk. So they do a good range of LEDs and resistors to go with them. Hi Karen, how are you doing? Anyone else popped in while I wasn't looking? So I think looking at this now, so that's the station building there. That's going to be sort of the outward facing onto the road. And that's the platform side. You can see the space underneath there where the platform will fit in. So I'm going to start by making up one of the flickering ones. Maybe just putting it in the ground floor just to give the look that it might be an open fire in there. Because again, my railway doesn't have any particular era. There will be all sorts of trains running on it. As you can see, I've got Irish Rail running on one line and British Rail running on another line. So I'm just going to plug in the soldering iron, let it heat up, and hope that this doesn't overload my circuit in the shed and all the lights go out. Because I have my heater on as well, so it's drawing a bit of current. Yeah, you still need resistors, Jerry. You do get resistors that say they're 12 volt, but quite often you'll find they already just have a resistor wired into them, or sorry, an LED that are 12 volt, but they have a resistor wired into them. So that's heating up. Let's get some of my flux out ready. Solder. Cleaner. Let's just move that out of the way for now. I've got my heat shrink. Don't forget, at the top of the chat was the link to the competition. A few people have entered. And also there was a link there to the question sheet, which you can put up if you want to put a question up anonymously. You can put it on there and I can try and answer it in the stream. Hi, Charlie. How you doing? Yeah, if you put a string of them together and wire them in series, you don't need a resistor. But then if one of them blows, then you've lost the whole string. If one of them burns out for whatever reason. Whereas if you have them wired individually, depending on if you have the resistors that are all the same make, same manufacturer, you can get away with using the one resistor when you wire them in parallel. But depending on the LEDs, sometimes they just won't work. Now, these are all the same components. If I wired them all up using one resistor, they would work. But if I was using a mix of different colors and different resistors, they wouldn't work. There's some reason on there, something to do with the striping rate or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but they just won't work. So it's the sort of thing, if you're going to do it, wire them up manually to start off with, see if they work, and then solder all together. So again, the longer leg on an LED is the positive, and the shorter leg is a negative. And I use red for positive, black for negative. Is everything still going round? So these are Lidl special, cost about 10 euros, I think they were. Wire strippers, very, very handy. So I've stripped the wires down, twist them together. So this is the same wire I use for my droppers, which is 7 strands of 0.2 mil wire. Just dip them in the flux. There a minute. Let's see if this is heated up yet. Yeah, so a little bit of solder on the tip, and then just run it along. Again, this is just another little special soldering iron. I think it was about 30 quid. It's not the best in the world, but if you're starting off soldering, it should work fine. A bit of a flux on it just to clean it off. Now you can see how the end of the soldering iron is tinned with the solder. It just helps it adhere a bit better. Really, it's just the lightest of touch you want. If you leave it on there too long, it will start shrinking back the insulation on the wire. Yeah, mind the fingers. Constantly burn your fingers when soldering. Flymo, what did I miss on YouTube Tuesday, Mark? If I'd seen it, I'd have highlighted it. Sorry. I'm not sure what you mean there, Flymo. If you smell bacon frying, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, I was just messing around with the shorts on my phone just to see how it worked. Because you've got to do it. Because I'd done one before, but I'd done it in landscape, and they got to be done in portrait. So I thought I'd just do it. I was sat out here, started putting that together. And I thought I'd just do a little clip and put it up, watching YouTube Tuesday. And then when I'd done it, I thought, you know what? I'll incorporate it into my live stream and just do some LEDs. Right, so that's the ends of those wires tinned. Right. One remote for my heater, because it's getting a little bit too warm in here now. Just turn the temperature down a wee bit so it cuts off quicker. Yeah. Let's just have a look at the 121 stop going around. All right, Joshua, you stay around as long as you want. Right, so there we have one LED, and you can see the contacts on it. One's longer, one's shorter. So the longer one is the positive. So we're going to put that on the red, and the black's the negative. I just splay them apart a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see any of this. So I'm just going to trim the bit I tinned. Dip it in the flux. A little bit of flux on there. Get the soldering iron ready. You'll know when I burnt myself because you'll be hearing swear words. So it's just a little touch, hold it for a second, and that's that. And we'll do the same with the negative leg. and just a gentle tug, make sure it's stuck on. There you can see they're both attached. So what I'm going to do now is snip off the excess of the legs and a little bit of heat shrink over it to keep it insulated. And then we'll put a resistor. Now, when you're doing LEDs, it doesn't actually matter which one you put the resistor on, negative or positive. But I just tend to always put it on the positive. And just keep that convention, because then if I see a resistor, I know it's on the positive leg. Let's catch up. Yeah, I'm putting shrink cover, as you can see, Flymo. I solder directly to the track, not fish plates, because then you're relying on the fish plates to stay in contact with the track. And you're trying, hoping corrosion don't occur between the fish plates and the track. What I tend to do is I solder the droppers onto the underside of the rail. That keeps them a bit hidden, a bit better. But obviously, if I go back and there's a dead piece of track, then I just solder the droppers onto the side. No, the cameras aren't hardwired. What I have, I'll show you the cameras, actually probably easiest, is I have a mobile phone over there, and then you can see over there leaning up against the drill is a tablet, and then that's another mobile phone there. So basically what I do is when I start the stream, I go in and I copy the link for sharing the stream to my email set. So the email gets picked up by the devices. I just go in, open up the link. So it's as if you have invited people in. So now the heat shrink's on there. I'm just going to rub it with the side of the, give it a little bit of heat, just to so let it shrink. That's good to go. Now I'll just take the resistor, which has gone where? There it is. Put that in the crocodile clip. And I will use my old paintbrush I have for the flux. Put a bit on. Flux really does make life so much easier. It just helps the solder flow. I know some people don't want to use it, but What I don't find very good is the solder that has the flux in the center. I just find that makes a real mess everywhere. There we are. Just hold it in place for a split second. And now trim off the excess. And let's see, will that fit over that resistor? They're quite small. Yeah, it will. Again, a bit of heat shrink goes over the resistor. And just use, if you have a heat gun, the heat gun is actually far better for doing the heat shrink, but if you don't, just gently using the side of the soldering iron does the job. Right, so now that's that. Let's test it. So all I have here is an old Hornby controller, which says it gives out 12 volts, but it's more like, oh, it does actually say 14.2. It is around 14 volts it gives out. And I got my color-coded leads, so I got black and red. And there it is, you can just see faint little flicker. Hi Anthony, how you doing, sir? Let's just catch up on the chat there. Yeah, I do wash the joints clean if I use flux. I've got an old toothbrush, a little bit of IPA, clean it off, just stops it going green and corroding. Was I able to find the diode size for the shuttle? No, because I can't find my diodes. I have a big string of them, like I do with the resistors, somewhere. And like just down here behind me is where I keep all the electrical stuff. I can find my resistors, capacitors, LEDs. I can't find my diodes. I have a feeling I took them into the museum because I had to put a new diode on one of the track sensors in there, and I might have left them in there. But as far as I remember, I just got ones that were capable of 20 volt. The solder I'm using is, this is actually lead solder. 60% tin, 40% lead. The other solder I was using was the lead-free stuff. And a lot of people swear by the lead solder, saying it's really, really good, far better than the other stuff. But to be honest, I find the lead-free stuff far, far better, easier to work with. I find this stuff here doesn't always adhere to the point of the soldering iron as easily as the other stuff did. But I've got a big reel of it here, so I'm going to use it. Cost me $6.99. I think I picked this up. Pretty sure it was at Worley, at the, is it Squires, who had a big display there of like different tools and stuff like that. I purely got it because everyone recommended it, and I'm just like, Right, so let's take that off. So I'm just gonna check the building just to make sure there are, yes, there are chimney stacks on top. It would look really weird having a fire in a place that didn't have a chimney stack. So the good thing about these Metcalf kits is they come with the individual floors, which should block any light out. Yeah, the lead is toxic, but I have a little fan here, which I use to blow the fumes away from my face. So I'm just going to see whereabouts I'm going to put a hole in this just to pop the LED up. Put it over against the wall towards the middle. Right, let's see how that looks. So now if the camera's picking that up, it's giving a sort of flicker effect. So it looks like there's an open fire. So you could use these in these particular LEDs in bulbs or in fires outside if you had somebody having a bonfire, that sort of thing. So yeah, so from these guys, Bright Components, I just came across them on eBay and they seem to do everything I wanted. Not sponsored by them. So I got the flashing blue ones. I got white and red, green, you know, for making up signals. Also, you would have, if you've seen that video I done on the HST where I've done the lights in, they have the those type there, which you push through and just use for headlights and tail lights. Again, they come in different colors. Got yellow, I've got white ones here somewhere. And then if you ever seen that video I done on the lights on the buffers, not the ones in the actual buffers, but the one on the sort of the stalk that stands up, use those little LEDs there. They're called SMDs. Done a video on that when I'd done upgrading a buffer, and it was just a couple of matchsticks with copper tape, and then just stick them on with glue, and then a drop of solder either side to make the connections. All right, so I'm going to make up a white light. The other thing is when you're using LEDs to light up houses is use different colored whites. You know, you got the bluey white, the bright white, the soft white, because it just, if you're building a street or a housing and all the color of the light's the same, it doesn't look right. Because if you walk down the street, different hues of color coming out of windows, they're all different colors. So, you know, some might only have like a table lamp on and it's going to look darker. Some will have a big fluorescent on. So just try and use some different colors. I'm trying to find my white ones now. Oh, is this in here? Nope, that's orange and red. Let's see what color this is. Hi, March West. How you doing? Yeah, but I tend to stop the light bleed is just paint the LEDs black. Just use some black acrylic and just go to town in there and cover it, give it a good thick coating. Yeah, so that's white. Whereas you can see, it's sort of a soft white. Oops, it's just going to fly in. But those orange bulbs that flicker as well, I was going to sort of retrofit them into maybe some of the steam engines for a light box flicker as well. Sorry, firebox flicker. Whereas if you look at that white one, it's much brighter. And if I could get, I must have a look to see if they do any of the other colors in flicker, because if you could have like a bluey red one, flickering, it might look like somebody watching TV in the house. So anyway, I'm going to solder this one up. Again, using red and black. This is a great little set of miniature tools I got. I picked these up in a bargain bin in Woolworths. So that'll tell you how long ago it was. I used to use it quite a lot in my original day job as an IT technician. I mean, how long has Woolworths been gone now? It's still too warm in here. Right. Is the link still going round? Nope. Why does that stop? Right, where was I? Let's put these live wires out of the way so they don't hit off something and short. Always treat the circuit as live. My dad was a Sparky. Well, I got a lot of my wiring knowledge off of him when I was growing up. That's how I used to spend my summers, out wiring houses with him. It's like me going to help him when I was young because I could crawl through all the narrow attic spaces and pull wires through. Used to complain about my knees being sore, so he bought me a set of knee pads for my birthday. Right, where are we now? You know, I've turned the heater down, and now it feels too cold. Again, my little blow heater in here is remote control one, about 25 euros in Lidl. Yes, almost everything I have in here is Lidl for my Dremel wire cutters, heater, magnifying lamp, soldering iron. Because you see, it's quite easy to put it in the basket and just buy it with the shopping. You see, nobody knows. I hope she's not watching. I won't be allowed to go and do the shopping anymore. Yeah, most of mine are from Lidl, and you know what? They work really well. I also got some miniature hand saws and files. And 3, I got files. A set of knives. No, the mini pin vise drill bit, that was it, from Aldi. They work really well. Is that connected? And the black. Again, remember, the long leg is the positive, short leg is the negative. Red for positive, black for negative. Because I think when I first started working with my dad, when I was a kid in the 80s, houses were wired with red and black because that was the convention at the time. So I've sort of stuck with that. Of course, now it's blue and brown. So cutting off the excess. So do you guys prefer it if I'm doing something like this? You can see the trains going around and I'm building or doing something on the side. This will be all right as long as I'm not doing the same thing every week. Yeah, you're right. The box is in the post. Yeah, the middle aisle, you're right. Stuff you never knew you wanted. See, what I started doing in my house is I was getting stuff delivered, but in my daughter's name, because she has a hobby. She buys a lot of stuff for. So my daughter was getting moaned at. But then my daughter started ordering her stuff in my name. So I wasn't any better off. But that's when it's being delivered directly to the house. As I say, I do have a friend in the north where I get my stuff delivered to. So sometimes it looks quite dodgy. We might meet up in a car park swapping boxes over. Right, now let's put the resistor on. Say I always put the resistor on the positive. Don't ask me what ohms this resistor is, I can't remember. It's a quarter watts. It doesn't actually say what ohmage it is. I think it's 1 kilo ohm or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't think she's watching, Jerry, because she's away in Letterkenny doing some shopping. But if she is watching, she'll let herself known. She's got to let me away with a few things. I nursed her through COVID. It's heat shrink on. Give it a test, make sure it works. There we go. So let's fit it into the other side. Oop. Just touch them, short it out. That's a good thing about these old Hornby controllers. You can touch them together and short them out. They don't go off. All right. I wonder if I should put like a light in this archway, which I've actually glued all that together. I should have done that before I glued that bit together. Right, let's put the white light. All right, so which way is this going to be? So the second story is going to be facing out. So I want to put it in the second story. As I say, I don't want all the windows to be lit. So that is, yeah, so if I put it up in that corner there, because you're only going to see the front of this, you should be able to hide the wires. I'm going to put a hole in this. Bye, Joshua. Take care. See you next week, hopefully. Hi, Karen. How you doing? All right, let's get my needle nose pliers in there just to get a grip on it and push it through. Actually, will this just come out again? Yeah, that's probably easier. Take it out and glue it back in again. Just put it in there for now. And hook it up and see how it looks. That's not good. It's not working. Oh, because I'm an idiot. Hooked it up the wrong way around. So on light. Now what I'll have to do is check with all the lights off, make sure there's no light bleed coming downstairs. And if there is, what I'll do is just plate the interior black to stop it coming through. Oh. What's that? Right, let's have a check on the train, see what's... Hi, Michael, how you doing? Who else has popped in? Bernie, are you off? Good night, mate. Take care. Hi, Mark, how you doing? Do I have a bench power supply? No, all I have is an old Hornby controller. Oh, lost a camera. Which one's that? Oh, the battery's probably died in it. I think there was only about 40% charge in it. Yeah, that phone's dead. Oh, we've been going for over an hour. It's not bad. So let's put this back up on the top here. Use the old hand of God. And where's the... let me just check. Has anyone used the question sheet? Nope. Hi, St. David's Green. How you doing? Hope you're keeping well. I'm just going to put into the chat the link to the form for the giveaway I'm doing. So make sure you're subscribed and answer the questions. Some of you need to check the questions because I got the answers, and some of you who are in this chat didn't answer them right. I haven't heavily put out there the giveaway because I want a more chance of my long-term subscribers who enter the competition of getting it. That track is filthy. It's funny how there are certain sections of the track that just get dirty. It's all Pico track. Shouldn't be any different. There's just certain sections that get every week need to clean. And it doesn't matter which loco you use on it. Well, apart from the ones that got stay alives in them. But... oh, no, that one's derailed. There you hit the point and short everything out. There we go. Hi, Stuart. How you doing? How you keeping, sir? Hope you're keeping well. Oh, I got 21 likes tonight. That's a record, I think. Have a swig of my Dr. Pepper. Right, where is... oh, that stopped again. Well, I won't get much modeling done this weekend because this weekend I've put up all our Christmas lights outside, ready for the switch on next Friday. Yeah, I just don't know what it is, Jerry. That's just certain sections of track that just pick up the dirt, get discolored, tarnish quicker than others. And it can be like it's all mostly flexi track in here, and it can just be a certain section of the flexi track, not the whole length, just a certain section. But in saying that, God knows what could be crawling over this layout at night. There's no food or anything left in here, and I've never seen any sign of. Saying that, I haven't actually given my track a good old clean in a long time. Right, I'm going to turn off the soldering iron because I'm not going to do any more tonight. I've done a couple of lights in that. Yeah, it is fairly strong. What's it pulling there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 carriages. Oh, we got in there the Pullmans out of the Tornado set, the Hogwarts Express, and I think it was an LMS postal set. Cream and would have been usually GWR, but they're marked up as British Rail. Well, everything's running around relatively well. A few hesitant in a few spots, but spiders on your layout. Well, spiders don't bother me. One thing I should have done with my tunnels is I should have lined them as I was building them. Because now I look at them, you can see through to the works and everything underneath. I'm just like, oh, why didn't I? And the other regret I have is not doing the back seam as I was going. Now I'm looking at it and going, how am I going to put the back seam on? Yeah, I think it is a Filer. I'll give you the Hornby model number. Again, this is one I picked up last time I was in Morley. Wait for it to go past. Oh, lost another camera. So the camera the main camera that's on the screen at the moment, Charlie, to answer your question from earlier on, is a web camera. It's a Microsoft webcam. Works quite well. And the rest are all mobile phones, which are slowly dying on me. Because I've gone over the hour now. Usually they last about an hour. And then there were 2 cameras. And that's a cheap little stand, which seems to work quite well. I picked it up for, I think it was 3 or 4 quid in Poundland. over in Strabane. I got it. Well, let's see how it is. It works quite well. And probably by the time I get back there now, they'll have none left. That the filer was giving me chip, was it last week or the week before? And I did clean up the wheels and everything, and it was working a lot better. I just think it's this track now that's tarnished. That's why it's hesitating. Maybe I need to get that old Dapple cleaner out and give it a good clean. What I really want to get is that big brass one that everyone seems to recommend. That seems to do a great job of cleaning them. Well, my layout is here out in my shed. There's partition wall that way. The rest of the walls are all cavity breeze block. And in that cavity wall, I've put the Kingspan insulation in. And I've put some of those rubber seals around the door. And it does retain the heat in here, and it's quite, I've only got a little blow heater out here. I put it on sort of 20 minutes before I come out. It heats the place up lovely. This temperature thermostat controlled heater, so it cuts in and out once you get up to the temperature. And I've got a little carbon monoxide detector on the wall, because out here is also the oil burner for heating the house, which we don't use very often because we have a solid fuel stove. And that's currently showing it as being 16 degrees out here, which is actually quite comfortable. Shark track cleaner, right. Something else to write on my baseboard. Oh, where's my pen gone? Do you know who supplies them, Leslie? Well, I'm going to look that up now. Wow. Oh, I see it. And it's actually painted up in different liveries as well. Black, an SO1, that's the blue one. Oh, God, that's loading really slowly. That can't be my internet. It's like the picture's loading like it was dial-up, just sort of like line by line. Oh, it's actually blue. That doesn't look too bad. I'll copy the link into the chat there. Okay, Charlie, take care. Hi, Andy. How you doing? Hope you're keeping well. So just in case any of my children are watching, take note of that link I just put up. Yeah, oh, well, I'm all good, Andy. I hope you're keeping well, sir. I will be taking a trip over to Bristol for a few days at the beginning of December for my grandfather's funeral. The new loco, the A-Class Cairn, is fantastic. Actually, that's the video coming out on Friday, is my review of it. So you can see it in closer detail. It's the sound functions on it and the lighting functions on it are out of this world. It's even got lighting in the engine bay. Cab lighting, you can bring the different lights on. It's programmed with the function to have switch the rear lights off, as it would be if it was in a train consist, or put on the shunting lights. The sounds in it are really good. And it runs with the built-in Stay Alive. It runs really well. It's really, really. So I'm seriously looking at the Class 37 Acura scale are doing. Of course, Irish Railway Models and Acura scale are the same company. Yes, thank you, Flymo. Hit that like button and subscribe. I did have somebody asking me a question on wiring up a point motor, and I said pop into the live. So if you're there in the background, say hi, and I'll go through it. Yeah, I've seen the CMX Trax Cleaner, Stuart. That's the one I wanted to get, but the one that Leslie just said looks more or less the same. Looks like a brass construction and with the pads, and it's a bit cheaper as well. Because I think it's about 160 or 170 quid for the CMX, and that one's 105. Yeah, the startup on the A-Class is really good. It really, really sounds. I was just blown away with the sound. Of course, most of the sound locos I have are the Hornby TTTS, which is the speaker, and that's a bit tinny and doesn't sound the best. But that with the built-in speakers in it, it just blows me away. Let's see, I cleaned that track and it went around fine. But now it's hesitating again. It may be that I just need to give all my rolling stock a good clean, because a lot of people neglect to clean their wagons and coaches wheels, because they do get dirty as well. Yeah, there's a fine film of muck on that bit of track I just cleaned. What do Americans call a hang? What have I missed there in the chat? Yeah, the 47. I do like 47s. And I like the 37s. So the Deltic, yeah, I know it's a historic diesel engine, but oh, we've gained 2 subscribers during the stream. Let's have a wee look, see how many entries I've got now. Hi, Gary from Australia. How you doing? What time is it in Australia? You must be in tomorrow. How's tomorrow looking? Yeah, Leslie, I've been saying I always want different locos and rolling stock, but so my next task now is to start working on the station. So I need to start working from the back forward. All right, I've jumped ahead to the station, which is going to be right on the front, but I just wanted to start putting that kit together, just see how it fitted and how it looked. So I'm going to elevate the row of houses at the back, platform, 4 tracks, platform, another 4 tracks, platform with the station on it, wire up all the lights and everything, and then do all the ballasting around that section and scenic detail. Try and blend it all in together and see how it looks. Oh dear, Leslie's been summoned to the front room. What did you wrong? Yeah, Flymo, I just looked and seen you entered. Just check one of the answers. 800 hours Friday and raining. Now it's 9 o'clock here and it's raining too. Catch you next week or another live streams, Leslie. Take care. I suppose I should be getting off soon as well, because it's gone 9 o'clock. No, I'm going to make my own platforms. I've got a bookcase that the missus was throwing out, and it's just about the right height. Because what I'll be using is these scale scene platforms. You cast them, plaster, and then you can make up any length. I'm going to be using a mixture of those and sort of these stone and stone walls and stuff like that. I'm going to fill in the mortar joints a bit more on them and use that as a top. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to experiment with it and just see how it goes, because that's the standard width of the scale cast platforms, which my platforms are going to be a bit wider, but I can use the edging along the platform. Most of them are going to be straight, and any that are curved, I'll get some sort of plastic card or something that I can bend around and paint up. The rain here in Donegal is coming at you horizontally. It's not too cold. Funny enough, for this time of year, it hasn't been that cold out. But I believe we're going to get a cold snap this weekend. As long as it's dry-ish this weekend, so I can get out and put the Christmas lights up. Is that your broadband you've got down there? Rural net, is it? Ours up here is called Blue Box. It's a microwave link from a mast on top of the mountain, which is a line of sight system. Weather shouldn't interfere with it, but when there's heavy cloud on top of the mountain, it does seem to interfere with it. How's the sun shining with you, Kieran? Isn't it dark? I tweaked that answer. Yeah, good night, Jerry. Right, that's it. I'm going to head off now as well, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Back again 7:30 next week, hopefully. See what I'm going to have on the workbench then to do while we're watching some trains. So take care, everyone. Happy modeling, and I'll see you all next week.